Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this member benefits call. We call it the Power of Connection. This is where we help update you, our Together SC members, or perhaps folks who are interested in learning more about Together SC. This is where we update you on what's the latest in the benefits of being a member of your statewide network of charitable and philanthropic organizations. Together SC has been around for 28 years. We'll be celebrating our 30th anniversary before too long. Started in 1996, really got the ball rolling in 1997 with 67 charter members, nonprofits and foundations that came together to create the South Carolina Association of Nonprofit Organizations, also known as SCANPO back then. And we are the statewide trade association for the social and philanthropic sectors. And then a year later, we held our first ever event that would come to be the Nonprofit Summit. It wasn't called that quite then, but we held our first annual conference, and we've been holding them almost every year since then. 2020 is or 2021 is a year we won't talk about. But now at the Nonprofit Summit, we bring anywhere between 600 to 800 nonprofit, philanthropic, corporate, consultant, academic leaders, everybody who's interested in advancing the social good sector. There is a place for them at the Nonprofit Summit, and I encourage you to save the dates. The next Nonprofit Summit will be held March 9th through 11th, 2026 in Greenville, and we'll open up registration in the fall. If you're interested in being a speaker or presenter at a concurrent session for that, keep an eye on your emails around June and July. That's usually when we issue the request for proposals for Nonprofit Summit speakers. In 2017, we changed our name, reflecting an expanded mission and focus. Nonprofits are the major part of social good, but nonprofits don't do it alone, and we recognize that by changing our organization's name to Together SC. We're at about 900 plus members at this point. We keep watching the numbers to see if we tip over that 1,000 member mark. Hopefully sometime this year we'll hit that mark and be able to say that we bring together over 1,000 organizations interested in social good. So this is your small but mighty staff team here at Together SC. Our president and CEO is Karen Reardon. She is based in Myrtle Beach. I'm the vice president and COO, Ben Bullock. I'm here in Columbia, but I divide my time between Columbia and Florence. Destiny Hester, who's managing the call for us here. She's our membership and communications coordinator. She's up in Greenville in the upstate. And if you've got questions about accessing your member benefits or need technical assistance in that regard, she's the person to talk to. And then GP McClear in the great city of Fountain Inn up in the upstate is our Director of Public Policy and Community Engagement. Brooke Robertson is our Director of Strategic Communication and Member Experience. She's based up in Spartanburg County. And she is the one to talk to if you are not getting our emails. Check in with Brooke. She can make sure that your email address is quite right in our system. And then also on the call with us is Desmone White. She's our programs and operations manager. So if you're looking at professional development, if you're looking at our peer networks, if you're looking at learning and expanding your knowledge, Desmone is the one to get you connected. Our board of directors, we hope, is representative of the nonprofit sector here in South Carolina. You'll see that they come from all areas of the state, that they come from many different kinds of organizations, foundations, government agency. We've got consultants that are on the board as well. But our board members are from you. They are themselves leaders of nonprofit organizations or involved in nonprofit organizations. And they have stepped up to serve on our board. We'll actually be announcing a new slate of incoming board members at our annual meeting on May 14th. May 14th, put that on your calendar. We'll have our virtual annual meeting and update you on what's going on there. So what you can expect from Together SC, our mission is to strengthen, unite, and advance South Carolina's nonprofit and philanthropic community. And we believe, we do that because our vision is one in which in the future that South Carolina's nonprofit organizations and their allies for good are integral players in successfully building vibrant, equitable communities. So what does that mean in terms of the do's and don'ts? Our core values here at Together SC. We believe in collaboration. We don't do anything all by ourselves. We don't come into your town and have an event or a training. We always do that in partnership with local funders, with local organizations, trying to be a part of your community and not just storming in. We believe in excellence. We want to do the best work that we can do, and we want you to do that as well. And so we encourage excellence in best practices, mutual accountability, and we also believe in equity, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Those are becoming four-letter words nowadays, unfortunately, but we still believe in it, and we're still encouraging our members, because at the end of the day, what social good is about is making sure that everybody has a fair chance and a fair shake, and helping folks get to that place where they can do their best. We believe in reimagining and innovation. We know that the world is not static and that we do not exist in bubbles, and things happen. Our board approved this as one of our core values 2 months before the COVID-19 pandemic came to South Carolina, and boy, have we had to lean into it ever since. And then, of course, this year, with difficulties in the federal government and state government and unsureness about funding, we are, of course, having to innovate and reimagine once more. We believe in measurable social impact. We want to make sure that we're having a good impact on nonprofit organizations, and we want you to be able to make sure that you are achieving your missions and bringing a little bit more good into our state. So why does membership in your statewide network of charitable and philanthropic organizations matter? We've got a whole host of benefits for our nonprofit members and for our consultant members and associate members as well, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Chiefly, our association health plan. This was a long time in the making, but we are now able to offer you medical, vision, and dental benefits through our association health plan. We can get you a quote from Blue Cross Blue Shield and hopefully get you some savings on that. We've also got ancillary insurance benefits from Mutual of Omaha. That's your term life insurance, AD&D, short-term and long-term disability benefits, and more. We've got retirement plan options from Mutual of America, and they've just done a big shake-up over there and reorganized their team, so they're getting ready to be able to serve you even better. We've got employee assistance program from First Sun EAP. That's a local company in Columbia that offers counseling, that offers financial counseling, that offers all kinds of trainings and things for your employees to help them do their best. And then we've also got a student loan management, public service forgiveness assistance from Savvy. We've got a career center that you can post a free job on every year. And then, of course, members get a discount on that. Of course, we're leaning heavily into advocacy work over the last couple of years. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Bi-weekly newsletter, For Good Connections, comes out every other Tuesday, and it's chock full of everything you need to know about what's going on in the sector. And of course, if you're looking for board members or you're looking to be a board member, we've got Board Strong. That's a recruitment and retention tool for helping you find new board members and bringing them into your organization. It's a little bit like a dating service. It's kind of funny that way. And then, of course, just this year, and I'll get into this in a little bit, volunteersc.org has been completely revamped, new software, and that is available for you for free at the basic level, help you recruit and manage your volunteers in the Volunteer SC network. And of course, we've got our peer networks and the online peer network discussion groups, virtual communities that you can meet with your colleagues who are doing the same work as you in different organizations, um, and connect with them and learn from each other. We've got our consultant collaborative directory. We've got over 100 different consultant firms offering many different kinds of services for your organizations. And so if you're in need of a consultant to help with your accounting, your bookkeeping, legal advice, strategic planning, business planning, leadership coaching, all of that stuff is in our consultant collaborative directory, and so much more. And then, of course, we do webinars and learning events all the time, all throughout the year, and those are free to members. We only charge for in-person events because, hey, we got to cover some costs there. And we do occasionally have some in-person events across the state, as well as our nonprofit summit. And then, of course, our members get a discounted rate to attend the nonprofit summit. So that's just a portion of the member benefits that come along with being a member of Together SC. Diving a little bit deeper into some of our employee recruitment and retention resources, because we know that now more than ever, there is a temptation amongst our people to jump ship and go work in the private sector where they can make more money and be a little bit more financially stable. And we want to give you the tools that you need to say, hey, look, it's worth it to stay in the nonprofit sector, that you can make this work and you can do well while doing good. So we've got an association health plan, affordable coverage on health, dental, and vision from Blue Cross Blue Shield. I mentioned term life, AD&D, and disability benefits from Mutual of Omaha, and as well as retirement, the Employee Assistance Program, and our Student Loan Forgiveness Program. Our AHP is covering over 500 employees from 36 organizations. I think we've just added a couple new ones. We've got 18 medical plan options through that, 12 PPO plans, as well as 6 health savings account eligible high deductible health plans. We've got 2 dental plan options. One covers orthodontia and one does not. They're very affordable. And then, of course, we've got a great vision plan through iMed, very affordable. It's like $4 a month for just a single employee. It's the fastest growing association health plan at Blue Cross Blue Shield. And if you're interested in learning more about that, we can get you connected with our broker, David Slade at Marsh McLennan, who can get you in the process of getting a quote. Now, I will manage some expectations and say it takes a little bit of time to get that quote, because we've got to collect a lot of information from y'all, and then we've got to get that over to the magical underwriters at Blue Cross, who turn that into a proposal. We just launched a new compensation and benefits survey, literally this week. No, last week. It went out last week. Sorry, last Tuesday. Time flies so quickly. It went out last Tuesday. This is our, hopefully will be biannual or triannual survey that goes out to all of our members, to as many nonprofits as we can get in here. We need you to tell us, confidentially, of course, about the employee benefits that you're offering, about the pay rates for your employees, so that we can develop those comparability measures and benchmarks, so that when you're hiring for new employees, when your board is looking to hire a new executive director, that they can set those salaries at the level that they need to be at. You know, we've talked about for many, many years that compensation and benefits in the nonprofit sector lag behind the for-profit sector, and we're trying to do something about that in doing this study. So in order to get this valuable information, to get this report and get a good report, we need all of you to tell us more about what you're doing. And we'll mush all those numbers together and come up with what the benchmarks are. So please participate. If you don't find the link You can find the link to participate in the survey at togethersc.org/compensation-survey. You can find the link there and participate. If you submit your data to us, then and you are a Together SC member, you get the report for free. For free. If you're a member and you don't participate, it's $75. And if you're not a member and you don't participate, it's $350. So that's a $350 value that members who participate in the study get for free. And everybody who participates, every organization that participates in the survey will be entered in a drawing to win complimentary registration to the 2026 Nonprofit Summit. So please take that survey. Let us know how y'all are doing in terms of compensation and benefits. I promise you it is confidential. So, Employee Assistance Program. This is a wonderful benefit. We're working with First Son EAP. It costs $3 per employee per month. That is dirt cheap, y'all. And what you get for it, your employees get 3 free counseling sessions in terms of mental health counseling or financial counseling, whatever they need. If you've got an employee who, for whatever reasons, the things happening in their lives are keeping them from doing a top-notch job for your organization, the EAP can help them with that. Hey, I'm a social worker. I understand that people exist in their environments, and sometimes their environments can really get to them in a way that makes it so that they can't do their job so well. The EAP is a great way to help your employee get the help that they need in order to do good work. And then, of course, if you've got staff who have student loans, at least for right now, the student loan forgiveness, public service loan forgiveness program is still a thing. And as long as it's still a thing, and we're fighting to keep it a thing, your employees, if they have public student loans, can qualify for student loan for forgiveness after working in the nonprofit sector for 120 months. I did it. I got $95,000 worth of student loans forgiven about 2 years ago, and boy, was that a relief off of my shoulders. So Savvy is a tech platform that we've been working with that can help your team members who have those student loans track their payments, get in the right repayment plan, get the paperwork filed, because it has to be filed every year, get all that done so that they can be on track to get that student loan forgiveness. We've got our Career Center, jobs.togethersc.org. If you're looking for a new job or if you're looking to post a job, you can find that job on jobs.togethersc.org. So our members get to post 1 free post a year for free. That starts from July to June. There's a coupon code that you can use to redeem that free job post. And then for members, it's $49 for a basic job post. But you can add some bells and whistles and get that job post to more eyes and also add it into national job networks as well. I'll turn it over to Desmond to talk about our peer networks.
Thanks, Ben. Good morning, everyone. I am Desmond White. I am the Operations and Programs Manager here with Together SC. So our peer networks are really a space for nonprofit professionals like yourself to connect from anywhere from the executive director to folks in operations or your fundraising officers. These networks are a place for nonprofit professionals to come together, to learn, to network, to grow together. We do offer learning events like Ben mentioned, most of which are free, and those will be sometimes talked about in the peer network listservs. That's just a virtual space for you guys to go on, ask questions, meet folks, connect that way. And the networks always are hosting learning events or doing networking for calls. So this is a space for your employees or even you. We do have a network for executive directors, which isn't pictured here because it's just a listserv, and that one is our most active. Folks can go on there, ask questions, meet folks, do different things like that. Um, and yeah, our peer networks are a space for you.
So how can folks sign up to join those peer networks?
So once you go into your member compass, you can activate the peer networks that you're interested in your profile. There we go. And from there, you can also join peer network discussion groups that I just mentioned, where folks can just pop in, ask questions, see the chatter that's been going on amongst folks there.
That's at groups.togethersc.org is where you can find those discussion groups. If you log in through your member compass at togethersc.org and then navigate to groups.togethersc.org, once you click log in there, you'll get logged into the peer networks discussion group portal. Thank you very much, Desmond. So then, I mentioned before, Four Good Connections. That's our bi-weekly news digest that goes out to all of our members. That's some 7,000 people on our mailing list. And so, if you, not just if you need to know, it's in there. That's true. But if you have news that you want to share, let us know. Send an email to communications@togethersc.org. Let us know what's going on, if you've had promotions, if you've hired new staff, if you are just received a big grant and you want to celebrate, and if you're looking for partnerships, if you're holding a training event, anything that you want to do to help get the word out about the work that you're doing, let us know. Communications@togethersc.org. I just will caution, we don't post fundraisers. So yes, your gala is probably the best gala in town. It's a great party, I'm sure. But if we promoted everybody's fundraiser dinner and gala, there would be nothing in the newsletter but that. So we have to draw the line at the fundraisers. So sorry. I mentioned volunteersc.org. This is a platform that we've partnered with the United Way Association of South Carolina as well as AmeriCorps SC to bring some updates to that. Some of you may know the old system that's been around for a little while. We have breathed new life into that system with our friends at a company called Point. And this is a great way for you to log into this, create an account for your organization. You can recruit new volunteers, add your current volunteers in, communicate with your volunteers, track their hours, enable them to easily sign up. I just had a message over the weekend from Lisa Cole at Turning Pages, and she told me that she held an event for giving books out to kids, and she had several new people out of the blue just sign up and show up and volunteered, and she did that through this volunteersc.org system. So check it out, play around with it, see if you like it. As I said, it's free for the core version, and if you decide, hey, I really want those bells and whistles, I want to be able to access those background checks, I want to be able to do some different things, interesting things with it, you can do that. It's 99 bucks a month for the pro version, which is way more affordable than some of the systems that are out there. So volunteersc.org, powered by Point, and what you'll need to do in this is when you create an account on Point, you'll want to join the Volunteer SC network. That lets us help you. That also gets you into the statewide volunteer recruitment system that in times of emergency, this system will help us coordinate at the statewide level volunteer opportunities that folks can use. Did I lose my slide? Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. That'll help us coordinate volunteers in times of an emergency as well, and that's part of why we're doing this and bringing this tool to you. So volunteersc.org. And then, of course, I mentioned Board Strong. This is our board matching system. I joke that it's a little bit like a dating service. Folks who are interested in serving on nonprofit boards can create a board member candidate profile, talk about their resume, talk about the skills that they bring to the table. Organizations can create postings for open board seats that they're looking for candidates for. You, as an organization, can look through profiles of particular folks. You can reach out to them and say, hey, we think you might be good for our board. Would you be interested in interviewing? They can look at that and say, yes, I would match. And I would like to learn more about that. Then you can take the conversation offline and put them in your nominations process. But at the same time, those board candidates can also be proactive and scroll through all the different board opportunities that are available on there and click match, and you get a notification that says, hey, somebody's interested in learning more about serving on your organization's board. So I encourage you, if you're looking to identify candidates for your board of directors, Board Strong is a great tool for that. One of the neat things about this is a partnership with our colleagues at the New York Council of Nonprofits, and they also offer some training opportunities for board members through there, and they also have a quick quiz on board governance. And if you answer all the questions on the quiz correctly, you get a little gold star by your profile indicating that you know a little bit about what you're talking about in terms of board service. Our consultant collaborative directory. This is a great resource if you've got some things that need doing and your staff, you don't have a particular staff member who's got the capacity or the skills for this. You just really need an outside party to handle this particular thing. Check out the consultant collaborative directory. And if you click on this green button right here that says filters, you can select a particular category of services that a particular firm may offer, and the directory will automatically filter and show you the consulting firms that offer that particular service. And so if you're a consultant, I know we've got a couple of consultants on here. If you're a consultant, make sure that your profile is filled out completely. Make sure you've got your logo on there. Make sure you've got your contact information on there, links to your social media profiles, information in your bio, anything that can show people what you do and how you go about it that will help them reach out to you with any particular needs that they may have. And of course, Member Compass. This is your profile. This is your connection point for Together SC. When you log in at togethersc.org, you're taken to Member Compass. And you can access everything about your organization's profile, all the things that are tailored for the peer networks that you're a member of. Any announcements that are for those peer networks get popped in here. You can see what your current member status is, and when your organization is up for renewal, and any particular invoices that need to be paid. If you've signed up for the summit, or if you signed up for a in-person event, and you can take care of that there. You can also get receipts and other things that that you might need for your financial records. Then any events that you've signed up for will be displayed in there as well. And did I mention AutoPay? AutoPay is a great tool for set it and forget it on your membership. And if you enroll in AutoPay, you'll get a 10% discount on your dues on the next renewal. And now, finally, you can enroll in AutoPay at any point in the year. You don't have to wait for that moment of renewal to enroll in AutoPay. So if you enroll in AutoPay, then you will get a 10% discount on your dues. So advocacy, this is a big part of Together SC's work. This is one leg of the three-legged stool here for us. We are getting more and more involved in advocacy and public policy work. You know, we brought GP McClear on as our Director of Public Policy and Community Engagement. He's our first full-time staff member dedicated to public policy work. We've got our public policy agenda that focuses a lot on your ability to conduct your business and your ability to fulfill your mission as a nonprofit organization. So we're protecting and defending the rights of charitable organizations as private organizations to do their work. We're keeping an eye on state legislation. We're keeping an eye on federal issues through our partnership with the National Council of Nonprofits. We're a member of the National Council of Nonprofits, and so if you're a member of Together SC, are you a member of the National Council of Nonprofits? And they keep an eye on things happening up in Washington, D.C. We do a lot of facilitated conversations and trainings around public policy and advocacy. We're doing a lot more of that lately for reasons which you might imagine. And of course, we have our Advocacy Allies peer network. If you're looking to beef up your public policy chops, I encourage you to join the Advocacy Allies peer network. We've got a couple of events. We've got an in-person issues forum that happens in the fall. In November, we've got a State House Day when we have the summit in Columbia, it's a part of the summit, and when the summit's not in Columbia, it's a separate event. And so all of these things have a public policy and advocacy connection to them. So here's our public policy agenda. You can read the whole thing on our website if you want. These are the things we're keeping an eye on and looking into. Key lines here are protecting nonprofit operations, streamlining regulations for nonprofits, protecting best practices from attempts to curtail or ban best practices in the nonprofit sector. Then we are also involved in working with various state agencies around disaster response and relief and helping coordinate and engage nonprofits in disaster response. VolunteerSC.org is one way in which we're doing that, but there are others. We're also looking to lift the nonprofit sector and workforce development. You'll see that in our compensation and benefits study, of course, but then you'll also see that in ways in which we're partnering with the Department of Employment and Workforce. And we're also working at the federal level to get the Bureau of Labor Statistics to include nonprofit industry data in their monthly reports. Would you know that every industry, every for-profit industry gets data on their industry for free from BLS except for nonprofits? They bundle us all in with all the others, and we can't get that data out unless we pay a researcher to do it for us. Totally unfair. And then, of course, we're always keeping an eye on tax policy because, hey, your tax exemption is important, right? So we're keeping an eye on tax policy and the way in which tax laws impact nonprofits. And you see on here, there are three different indicators: lead, monitor, and support. That is indicates our stance relative to that issue. If we have lead by it, that means that we are proactively engaging with government partners and our members in order to move something on this particular topic. We are taking the leadership role. Monitor means that we're not taking the leadership role, but we're keeping a close eye on it, and we're helping our members move in ways in which they can address these particular issues. And then support means that we are standing behind our members. These are issues that our members are leading on, and we are standing behind them and supporting their efforts. Of course, we've always got something going on. A lot of the things we do are online, but we do have a couple of in-person events as we are getting our new president and CEO around the state. Here's a list of our upcoming events. April 21st, we'll be in Greenville with a ice cream social. So if you're in the upstate Greenville area and you want to meet Karen Reardon, sign up for that on April 21st. Then we've got an online session on grant readiness and capacity empowerment on April 22nd. I'm doing a little bit of speaking on that as well. We've got a social event in Greenwood. So if you're in the Greenwood, Abbeville area, the Lakelands, we've got an in-person event there. That's actually coinciding with our board of directors retreat. But we'd love to see you there and introduce you to Karen as well as the rest of our team. Then on April 30th, our operations peer network is having a candid conversation about audits. audits. They just keep getting more expensive. And we want to hear from you about what you might be doing to sort of tackle that issue. Then on May 6th, we've got Leveraging AI for Organizational Effectiveness. Popular webinar. We keep bringing more and more topics about AI as it becomes more and more of a thing that we use to do our work better. Then on May 13th, we've got a webinar about unlocking the full potential of a candid search. You may know about GuideStar. You may know about the Foundation Directory Online. Well, a few years ago, they merged together and became Candid. So join us for that to learn more about how you can use GuideStar and Foundation Center Directory, now Candid, to help with your organization. Then, May 15th, our Black Nonprofit Leaders Network is having its annual spring symposium. So if you're a part of that peer network, I encourage you to join us for that event. And then, of course, get out your calendars, get out your date books, open up the link on your Outlook, save the date, March 9th through 11th, 2026, in Greenville at the Hyatt downtown. We will have the Nonprofit Summit. And as we get closer to the date, as we get into the fall, in the summer, we'll do a request for proposals for speakers. So if you've got a really fun topic you've been itching to talk about, keep an eye out for that. That'll be in June and July. We'll have keynotes announced in the fall. We'll open registration hopefully sometime in October. And it will sell out, y'all. It sold out last year. We had 150 people on the waiting list. So when the tickets open up, get your tickets while the getting's good, because the Hyatt is a great hotel. It's a decently sized hotel, but we will fill it up. And unfortunately, we'll have to cap seating in order to keep the fire marshal from kicking us out. So save the date, get your tickets, get your hotel rooms, and we'll see you in Greenville, if not before then. Whew, so that's the spiel. And so now I will ask if anybody's got any questions. If you like, feel free to unmute. I'm looking through the chat box to see what kind of questions we may have. I see some folks asking, how can you join the peer networks? You can do that by adding that peer network to your profile, and you can also join the discussion groups online at groups.togethersc.org. And yes, it is open to all team members, all staff members. Let me go back to this member compass real quick here. Okay, on member compass, you may see, is it covered up? I hope it's not covered up. Okay, you don't see it on this one, but if you are the primary contact or the billing contact, or have management access to your company account, and that's usually the executive director that has that, there will be a tab here that says, I think it says people now. It used to say staff, but now it says people. You can send invitations to all of your staff members, any of your board members, anyone who needs to be in the know, who needs to participate Together SC, who needs to connect to their peer networks. You can send them invitations to create their own user accounts at togethersc.org and access all those member benefits we've been talking about, including the peer networks. And folks are asking about the recording. Yes, we are recording this, and we'll post it on our website and our YouTube channel. Let's see. Any other questions? Feel free to unmute.
Yeah, I've got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Dan with Community Music Collective. The question I had is, if we have a benefit that we think would be good for the members of Together SC, that's something that we might be able to share for them at no cost, who would we talk to this, or who would we email like to discuss that sort of thing?
That would be me. So please go ahead and send me Benjamin at togethersc.org. Let me know what you're thinking, and we'll talk about it and see what we could do.
All right, great. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. Love that.
Yeah.
Free benefits. That's always great. Any other questions? Feel free to unmute or type it in the chat box. And if there
I
are
don't
no
have any
questions,
questions, but I
go
just
ahead,
wanted
Tiffany.
I just wanted to say this was super helpful and thank you. We have been members for quite a while, but I don't know if I personally understood all the benefits. And so I just wanted to say thank you for having this.
Thank you. Glad you're on the call with us today. All right. Any other questions? Last call for questions. We're at 10:44, and I'm happy to give you your 15 minutes back for coffee and snacks and all that jazz. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. And as can happen, if you ring off the call and suddenly your brain goes, "Oh, right, I meant to ask that." Feel free to send us an email. All of our staff are their first name at togethersc.org. You can also go to the Contact Us link on the TogetherSC website and submit a Contact Us form, and those will get routed to the appropriate staff member to answer. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you soon online or in person.